Wholeness, everyone. I'm Iota Katori, and first I want to talk about, because I'm always cooking, I do a lot of raw vegan meals, a lot of vegan meals as well, but I go back and forth between raw vegan and vegan depending on whatever my body says. And that's one thing I want to talk about when people are forcing or pushing their agenda of veganism on others that may not necessarily be ready. I want everyone to know that your body is different. The key is to tune into your body. It's not about what everyone else says that your diet should be. And when it comes to what your diet should be, it's not necessarily always meant to go vegan. A lot of times we need the salt for processing. Salt has an energy to it that allows, like, when I say salt, I'm talking about like a lot of processed foods. And a lot of times people come and they incarnate into this realm of reality, and in this realm of reality, especially if they come into the United States, we eat a lot of processed foods. Not saying that is good or bad. There's a purpose for everything, good and bad. So with the processed foods and people are incarnating onto this planet, a lot of times that processing of that food and that salt that people are craving or addicted to, or, you know, just attracted to, is because it has a factor that allows you to stay within a trajectory of your growth. So sometimes people may need meat because maybe the microorganisms in that meat or the bacteria is something that they actually need to stay in this body. You don't know where people come from when they're coming from the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever dimensions they're coming from, you know, astral planes or whatever that may be. So a lot of times you find a lot of people pushing their own biases on others. And the key for me is to always say, get in tune, meditate, learn who you are, open up your psychic faculties. You find a lot of people that are intuitive and they eat meat. So you don't necessarily, I can't say that because I'm intuitive or I have these, you know, extra abilities that allow me to do what I do as far as energy healing and channeling or whatever may come through as I utilize my psychic abilities. I attribute it a lot to my veganism, because for me, meat is just not for me. I love meat, put it like that, but it's just not for my body. And certain people, when it comes to animals, it's like they did have an agreement, I think, at one point for us to eat them because you embody them, where you don't know what beings they were and you don't know if you were those same beings. So a lot of people back in the day, they communicated with the animals, and so they, you know, they became one with them. Everything is to be done with some type of sacred energy. Everything you do, you want to make sacred, but we have abolished that those kind of actions and character. And at this moment, when I speak on being a vegan, it doesn't mean you are meant to be vegan. Maybe in the next lifetime, if you come and you're getting the lessons that you need to stay in these vibrations, you don't know if you're a new soul, you're an old soul, and there's a lot of that going on. Sometimes people don't need it at this moment. You need more of a lighter diet because it helps you become light, or wherever you came from is more light. So it all depends on knowing who you are. If you don't know who you are, then the quest starts there. And you don't need to just jump into diets and fads and trends because it may not be for you. So my suggestion is to learn yourself. Find out what diet is for you. And if you haven't tapped into that yet, I do Akashic record readings on diet and finding out and divining what diet is best for you, so you don't jump into a space that you don't need to be, or losing weight or gaining weight. You just don't know. So I do provide that if you would like that kind of service. But otherwise, definitely listen to your body. Take time to eat your food slowly without watching TV or anything, and find out what is it saying to you. Is your body telling you no? Maybe you need to be vegan for a week because you just probably need to fast. You probably need to get out some microbes that you don't need, parasitic energies that you don't need. So it's up to you. I find that since I changed my diet, I actually have parasites in me that wiggle around to let me know that I had enough of certain types of foods. Isn't that interesting? So you can work with your parasites. You can work with everything inside of you because you are your own controller. At one point in time, I would listen to my body, and I knew that I had parasites because of a dream I had. I had all these like ants and things in my head. I took my head off, and it was just all this stuff in my brain, and I was sweeping them out. And it was still a little bit left over, but it allowed me to clear up my fog. So I knew then, like, your spirit and your body will tell you when it's time to put certain things down, and when to change up and switch up, and how to get rid of certain programs or parasites that are causing you to think certain ways. So, you know what I mean? Like, the food is totally different. The contracts with animals are different. I mean, we're treating them like slaves now. You're not going to get the same energy that you would in the past with animals. So be conscious of that. I mean, if you're gonna be a meat eater, be conscious of the contracts you're creating with the animals that you're choosing to eat. Are you a cow? Because you are what you eat. So you may have been a cow or had cow energy some kind of way in your parallel life or some other space that you came from. So it's all about spiritual evolution of knowing who you are, because I switched my diet, it allowed me to look younger and to move in a different space, which I will talk about later, about aging and becoming ageless. Because at 37, I keep getting older, and it's no lie. Like, I start looking younger sometimes because people are like, oh my God, you're 37? Like, you look like you're under 25, And sometimes I do, especially depending on how I dress. I get mistaken for lacking information and being quite ignorant because I look young by people who are older and expect me to not know certain things. But I share this wisdom with you guys because I just want you to become more in tune with yourself by getting rid of all the biases and the trends and just tuning out and tuning in, But with that said, if you have any questions, again, about my diet service or what kind of diet you have and tapping into the Akashic Records, let me know. It's not expensive. I don't like making anything expensive. I like making things more available to all. So unless it gets too much for me, but there's a way of handling money that I'm also going to talk about, and handling, receiving and giving and exchanging, and how you want things to be reached. Because again, that's more information I'm going to talk about later. Because I will definitely, my mind will go off there. Because it's so much, so much that I want to share with you guys. I don't have any taglines yet. I will if you can help me come up with one. I'm definitely an urban shaman. See, I say shaman. People are like, shaman. See, I'm very unorthodox. So my words may twist and do whatever they do. I don't normally speak English a lot in my head. So translating everything into English has been challenging, especially since the awakening and changes of diets and all the other things I've been doing. Psychic energy moves very fast through me, and so words be like how you want to say it. But with that said, wholeness and vibrations, everyone. I'm Miyota Katori. Tune in next time. We're going to talk about something else. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. I really love finding out what people want to know, because it's so much inside. Sometimes I don't even know where to start. With that said, I love you guys. Check you out later.